Hi guys, Captain Foley here. How you doing today? Oh, Kevin fed over. I shall call him Kevin. Yoda. And I know a lot of people don't like Baby Yoda, and honestly, I don't give a fuck. If you don't like him, too bad. He's still gonna be part of the video, because I like him. Just saying. So everybody, hit the thumbs up. We are going to be taking a look at my latest Eaglemoss shipment, which is pretty substantial, and getting a first reaction kind of all the stuff in there. And then you're going to see reviews of these things coming out soon. The Eaglemoss reviews are returning. There should be one. Well, there should have been one today, actually. I think I scheduled it to be released today. Let me just take a quick look. I was busy today, so that's why we didn't do a live. But here I am with a live at night, so yay, I guess. All right, let's see what we got here. Trekyards, your channel. That's my channel, Trekyards. Yeah, the Eaglemoss Klingon or Discovery D7 came out today, so I guess the Eaglemoss reviews are back. What do you know? I'll be another one next Friday. I'll try to do one every Friday. I'm even considering releasing Captain's Logs again. I used to do Captain's Logs every Friday. I don't know if it'll be every Friday. We will keep an eye out for that, and we'll see. By popular demand, I think we will actually bring the Captain's Logs back. You guys have just kind of wanted them and said as much, so I really appreciate that. All right, 13 people here, 5 people have hit like. Come on guys, everybody make sure you hit that like button. Let's get those likes up. Yeah. Yeah, get the bell on, folks. Trekyards deserves it. Ah, thank you, Devin. Appreciate that. Hey, Charles. Hey, Fox. And Barrett Show. How are you guys doing? Why? All right, there we go. So, guys, I want to get into the Eaglemoss stuff. You guys, of course, can ask questions. Feel free to super chat if you have any questions or want to see anything in more detail when I pull it out of the box. But yeah, this is going to be kind of just a relaxing kind of hangout live. But looking forward to chatting with you guys. Thomas Potts says Eaglemoss tracking has been messed up. I bought Anti-Trekker Sun some Doctor Who and it took 3 weeks and they never gave me tracking info. Well, unfortunately, that is the beast that is Eaglemoss. As it is, they've been sending me a lot of duplicates and stuff, so there might be the possibility of some giveaways on the Captain's Logs or the Eaglemoss reviews, because I do have some extras and stuff, so we'll see how that goes. We'll see if we can find a way to select winners for those, but yeah, it's kind of where it's at. So, and yes, I picked up a Baby Yoda. I actually got this for Sylvia, and she said that he can live in the ready room, so he's here in the ready room. As I said at the start of the show, if you don't like Baby Yoda, if you're one of those people that, oh, it's just a gremlin, I hate Baby Yoda, well then I really don't give a shit. So tough. But anyway, yeah, so let's get into this box. Let's see what's in here. As you saw in the thumbnail, this is a big ass box. Like, it's huge. I should like paint it like a board cube and use it as a display piece with some of my other Eaglemoss ships. It's a big board cube box. So let's get into here. Let's see what we've got. So here's one I've already done a review of, and it's probably one of the better Eaglemoss XL ships that we have now that I've reviewed, and that's the XL Katinga. This is actually a fantastic ship. I got another one over there. They have sent me two now. I got like 2 people from Eaglemoss sending me stuff, and the one doesn't know what the other one's doing, so okay. But yeah, so Katinga XL. Devin Larson, yeah, show the goodies. No rush, of course. Also, I love the D7 video today as well. Well, thank you. Thank you, Devin. Appreciate that. Super Crew 63 throws in $2. Thank you very much. I win. I'm the first Super Chat. You do win, and nobody else can beat you for being the first Super Chat. Just make sure you hit that like button. So, anyway, I'm going to set that down. So, guys, if you want to see anything in more detail, I will be pulling a bunch of them out of the boxes. This one I've already done a review of, so I'm not going to unless you guys super chat for it. I can, show you in more detail if you like. But since this is a duplicate that I have, this may be a giveaway at some point. I don't know what I would do for a giveaway, but, I'm more than willing to do that and help you guys out and get you guys some Eaglemoss ships that you might not be able to afford or whatever. We just got to find out a good way to get them, given away. They do cost a bit of money to ship. That's the problem. So we'll have to see. I love the boxes for the XLs. As I say in all my reviews, they're actually great display pieces on their own. If you don't have room to just take the ship out and display it, you can display them in the box, either like that or like that. Throw them up on a top shelf where you're storing them, and you still got a nice display piece. So that's one of the things I like about the Discovery line for Eaglemoss as well as the XLs, is that the boxes are really good. The standard boxes are a bit shit, just with the Delta on the back and Star Trek on one end. So I've got a wall of things that say Star Trek in the closet over there. So, but yeah, so the XL Katinga is the first one here. Let's see what we got here. Devin Larson, A+ on the Borg Cube idea, 100%. I'll have to look into doing that. I hope a box like that shows up at my local retailer soon. Haven't seen a single ship I ordered through them since months before the pandemic, says Doom Shepherd. Lee Stark says the XL Katinga is almost in scale with the Diamond Select TOS ships. That's actually very cool. Devin Larson throws in $2. Cap, check the nacelle on that new D7. What on this one? This isn't the Discovery D7. This is the Katinga. If you're talking about the D7 that I reviewed today, the Discovery one, yeah, my one nacelle was a bit wonky. This one, the first, if you can go back and watch it, I got my Katinga XL review out. I thought it was one of the better XL ships that they've done for Star Trek. I think they did a fantastic job on the model. So I'll check this one if you really want me to. You did super chat for it, but this isn't a D7, this is the Katinga. So I don't want you being confused and thinking this is the Discovery D7 that I did a review of earlier today. I completely forgot that I had scheduled that. I forgot it was Friday, actually. Took the Camaro for a nice long drive today out to my dad's place, helped my dad out, and a nice long drive back to London with it. So, and yeah, here it is. Let me just put this box down over here. So here's the XL Katinga, and it is a beautiful ship. And the nacelles on this one are indeed perfect. I think the boom dips down too far. I even said that on my review. It's like it's got a bit of flex in it. It needs to be a little bit stiffer. I'm picky with the booms on these. That's how it should be. That's how it is. It's like a nacelle. I like the nacelles to be straight and level. But that's the one criticism I had when I did the review of this thing. Other than that, this is a fantastic fantastic model. Lots of nice detail on this, as you can see. Like, it's a really, really nice model. Eaglemoss really hit it out of the park with this one. So there you go. Just gonna re-box that up. Zach, what's the purpose of the long neck on the Katinga? There's a couple reasons for the long neck on the Katinga. It depends on what source material you're reading or you're choosing to accept. Basically, the Klingons weren't too worried about safety in the TOS era for the D7, which translated to the Katinga. So the engineering hull actually wasn't the safest, most shielded area of the ship. So to keep the command crew and stuff, the higher officers away from that stuff, the boom is actually at the end of the neck, or at the end of the head section is at the end of the boom, sorry. And they actually, according to Starfleet Battles, they employed slaves to work in the engineering departments so that they wouldn't be putting Klingons in danger. So the boom section actually separates should there be a mutiny. Because in Starfleet Battles, when you have a Klingon ship, you have to roll. If all your security boxes get destroyed, you have to roll to see if there's a mutiny. In which case, your slave engineers mutiny and start to take over the ship. So you can actually separate the boom. If you watch our saucer separation episode of Trekyards, we talk about the boom separation capabilities of the D7 and the Katinga, and it's actually pretty fascinating. So there you go. That's one of the reasons for the long neck. Other ones, yeah, I can't recall right offhand, actually. A lot of them are just walkways, long walkways. Even a shooting range, I believe, in one of the blueprints, in one like it's divided into two levels, and one's like a long shooting range for target practice. So you know, there's a bunch of different reasons. Maybe the Katinga is just feeling mopey, says Area 51. Perhaps. Curtis Simpkin throws in $2. Thank you very much, my friend. That's awesome. I really appreciate that. So thank you very, very much. All right, so let's see what's next in the box. There's another one that I already have one of. And that's this. And it's still in the package. I'm not going to open this on air right now, but it's the XL Deep Space Nine station. It has the magazine in here. It's still in the bag. So I did actually have one of these. I'm not sure if I filmed a review for it. I have the standard DS9 station over on my on display over there. But the XL is nice. I want to do a video comparing it to the smaller one. But yeah, so that's that one. I'm not going to open this right now, though, just because I want to kind of keep it in here for the review. Special edition, £49.99 or $75 US. So not cheap. Not cheap. So there's that. See what you guys are saying. Ooh, I'll trade you $50 US, LOL. Chris Simpkin, only thing I have from Eaglemoss is the small version of Voyager right now. Devin says, okay, I'll do 75. But I gotta ship it, and it's a big box. Like I said, it is a duplicate, so at some point there may be a giveaway of sorts, or some kind of one of our special live videos. We might do a giveaway. I don't know. Devin says he'll pay shipping. Well, maybe we'll talk, Devin. Maybe we'll talk. Just get in touch with me later. We'll see what we can do, okay? But yeah, if you guys are interested in any of these that I don't want to keep, very important there, let me know. Or if you have an idea for a giveaway or a promotion or something that we can do as a way to make it fun and interesting for you guys to be part of the channel. So just let me know. What is next? Well, there's a whole bunch of magazines, which we'll look at later. Next up is the Sona flagship. So this is from Insurrection. This is the Sona flagship, and I don't think this is an XL, honestly, because it doesn't have the special box. It doesn't have the other picture of the ship. It's got the Sona flagship there. This I'm interested to take a look at. I'm not a fan of this ship. I never would have ever ordered this ship, but they want to promote it, so they send it my way, and we go from there. Wow. I'm actually a little bit shocked at the cheapness of this. This feels very, very, listen, it's very plasticky. There's like this section at the top right here is metal. That's it. The rest feels very plasticky, very hollow. It's very light. It's a very light model. There's not a lot of anything going on here. So not only are you guys getting like a live unboxing and Eaglemoss haul, you're also kind of getting a smaller, a light live version of the Eaglemoss reviews. So yeah, not a fan of this ship. Actually, you know, if it flew this way, it would look a little bit better. You know, if it flew this way instead of this way, I think it's a much more aggressive profile. I like that. That works for me. This doesn't, going this way. Seems almost like a Dominion ship with that kind of aggression going on, or like a Star Trek version of a Cylon. So, Sona ship. What are you gonna do? Well, let's see what we got here. Area 51, I have a regular Akira and a regular Honshu Nebula class. Not sure what to get next. Well, guys, no matter what you get next, because of this new deal with Eaglemoss that we have a new code, which kind of sucks, honestly, because all of the 70 videos that I've done, the 70 Eaglemoss reviews I've already done, all have used Trekyards, use the code, discount code Trekyards, and when you can get save money, it doesn't work anymore. The new code is Trekyards 10, which is actually a better code. The other code, Trekyards, saved you 15% off orders of $50 or more, but only on the regular collection. No XLs, no special editions, no shop exclusives, none of that shit. It was only on the regular Eaglemoss line. The new code, Trekyards 10, actually saves you 10%, but on everything. Special order or special editions, XLs, shop exclusives, Discovery line, regular Eaglemoss line. So it saves you 10% on anything except for pre-orders. So if you pre-order a ship, you won't be able to use the discount code, but it works on everything else. So the new code is Trekyards 10. It's in the description of the video. So if you ever need to use the code, it's Trekyards 10. So keep that in mind. Devin Larson, the Sona were the assholes from Insurrection. Yes. Nice transporter in the background. Thank you. Early dislikable villain. I love that film. What is your favorite Starfleet ship? My favorite Starfleet ship, I get that asked that all the time. It's the Constitution class, the original Connie, or the refit, depending on what kind of mood I'm in. Now, when people say what ship would I want to be a captain of, I always say the Galaxy class. It's luxurious, it's huge, it's a damn fine ship. It is a nice ship. Plus you have a holodeck, so you can recreate any other ship you want. Regular Constitution class, refit, whatever. You can be a captain of any ship when you're the captain of a Galaxy class. So that's my go-to answer. So Area 51, a lot of the ships I'd want to get are out of stock. Always the way, isn't it? Yes, I've requested some that are out of stock, unfortunately. So, and thank you for the transporter comment. It's actually a Hallmark transporter. Has lights and sound effects and stuff. But thank you. Appreciate that. Wonder if I can remember the command. Alexa, initiate warp core. I can't remember the code to get the warp core sound from Alexa. Captain Pharaoh, I actually have one just like that transporter. Yeah, I have the original one, which is a small one. It's a small version of it that you put on the Christmas tree. That's the large one that they came out with last year. This year, Hallmark is doing a Enterprise tree topper. It's the original Enterprise tree topper, and I'm looking forward to that one as well. The only problem is my Hallmark store that I usually go to is permanently closed now. So they called me, and usually the ornaments start coming in June. So they called me like a week ago and said, yeah, we're closing permanently. So I didn't get to the phone, so left a message. So you have to go to either Masonville, which is just it's a mall at the other side of town, or the other location in London here. And basically, because every year I would request the Star Trek ships, any Star Trek ships, and any of the Transformers ornaments that were automatically put aside for me. So now I got to go and do that again and get those back on my request list. So it's kind of annoying, but Jason Paris, I like your Baby Yoda. Oh, thank you. Jadak Productions, how's it going, sir? Hey Cap, good to see you again. I'm looking into trying to get a Type 3 phaser model to convert it into a gel blaster. Gel blaster. Captain Pharaoh, yep, I have the original one too. Very nice. Can't wait for the Enterprise tree topper. My wife does a seasonal Hallmark binge purchase for all Hallmark ornaments. Yeah. So yeah, that's one thing I got to do maybe this weekend is head out to, and it's shitty because Masonville, the mall, is on the other end of town. As I said, they have the Hallmark store, they have the Disney store. The mall right near us, the one we live right behind, is White Oaks, and it's a good mall, but it doesn't have Disney store, it doesn't have a Hallmark. It's just it's frustrating because I have to drive all the way across town. But you know, first world problems and all that. So Crazy 8360, I've been looking for the regular Prometheus, and Eaglemoss is always out of stock. Well, speaking of Eaglemoss, let's get back into the shipment and see what we can see. All right, so next up is the Vulcan Long Range Shuttle. And I've taken this thing out of the box to look at it, and I gotta say, I am super impressed with this. This is probably the best Star Trek XL ship that Eaglemoss has done so far to date. Just for the detail, and I can't find any errors on it. It's amazing. Looking forward to doing a review of this one. This is probably going to be one of the first reviews I do. Next week, as I said, today was Discovery's D7. Next week is going to be the Blood and Chrome Viper Mark III. And then after that, I don't have any filmed yet. So this is probably going to be the first one. And this thing is fucking beautiful. This blew me away when I saw this. I knew it was going to be good, but I didn't expect it to be this good. So here it is here. It's a good size. Again, not super heavy, but these nacelles are all metal. The top part is plastic. It doesn't separate, doesn't come off. But, ooh, the brace. Yeah, the sled part itself is also metal. So maybe those are plastic. Yeah, I think the nacelles actually are plastic. But this part, the actual sled part, is metal. So it's got a good weight to it. It's got a ton of great details. As you can see, a lot of nice weathering. Yeah, it is too bad it doesn't separate, but a lot of nice weathering on it. Great color palette. It's got a little bit of a red hue in certain spots. Um, it's a great piece. It's a fantastic model. So neat. So yeah, I kind of wish it separated too, but I kind of wish a lot of the Eaglemoss ships did something like saucer separation or articulated wing mount or nacelle mounts for the Intrepid would be nice. But that ramps up the price, unfortunately. It's got nice gold details at the back here, which are shiny. I can't really get them to reflect anything, but um, yeah, there's just a lot of fantastic detail on this model, and I'm just blown away. This thing is really nice. So this is going to be a good review when I get to it. Um, I'm not going to have much bad to say about this, if anything. Generally, I find one or two things wrong with them, not just accuracy-wise, but a lot of times just with the actual production of the models, because a lot of times there's like a loose nacelle or a crooked nacelle or something broken off in shipping, which it really isn't their fault. But now one thing I'm noticing on this is I didn't know, this has two phasers. It has two phaser ball turrets right there. Well, one turret, two phasers. There's no other ones on it. So I didn't even know that this had phasers. So there you go. Even I learned something. Area 51 Eaglemoss should do a Foley class. Nah. Speaking of the Foley class, the Foley class refit era is coming soon. Hopefully you guys are going to like it. It is pretty fantastic, if I do say so myself. It's better than the TLS one. So, but yeah, so that's the Vulcan long-range shuttle. I hate that they call it the Vulcan long-range shuttle. It's actually just a Starfleet ship, but since it came from Vulcan, carrying a Vulcan, the Vulcan, in the motion picture, it got classified as the Vulcan shuttle. And it is a long-range shuttle. It's just a standard shuttle pod, but on a warp sled, so that it can catch up to a ship. So the warp sled is different than, anyway, yeah, so there you go. But fantastic. And again, because it's the XL, it's got the nice picture here, it's got the nice picture here, so you can just display the box and the ship, or just keep the ship in the box if you don't have room for it, put it up on a high shelf, like I said, in a closet or something, and you can still see what ship it is. So gotta love that. Let's see here. The All Good Things ship from Eaglemoss has made is always sold out. So is their Discovery Enterprise, both the XL and the regular. Curtis, Eaglemoss needs to do ships that light up. That would be cool. It would be. I think they actually have something in the works for that, but don't quote me on that. And guys, make sure you hit that like button if you haven't already. 47 people watching. Hit the like. And if you want to super chat and ask me a question, or have me show any of the things that I'm pulling out of the box here in more detail, by all means, send a super chat and ask, and I'll see what I can do. Super Crew 63. When I build models, I thin out some areas and light them myself. It's actually very easy. Yeah, I mean, you say it's easy. It's more easy now in the days of LEDs and LED strip lighting. Back when my brothers were doing it, like 20 plus years ago, they had to use the little wheat bulbs, is what they're called. They're like little grains of wheat, and you had to wire them up, and they, adjust the brightness. Now with LED strips and stuff, it's so much easier. Donnie Pearson, hello, Stuart and all. Sorry for the delay since I had to redo my orchestral mock-up cover of Tchaikovsky's 1812 Overture. Well, wow. Jason Paris, that would be cool to do a Foley class. The captain would be proud. Captain Farrow, yeah, I'm a bit late to the party. Also, that Vulcan shuttle is tempting. Yeah, It's a very nice ship. Lee Starks, I wish they would make an XL USS Titan. They probably will, in all fairness. Donnie Pearson, the piece I mentioned was based on the true story of the Battle of Borodino between Russia and France, and is a staple of American Independence Day and Canada Day before that. Well, there you go. All right, so now back onto the Eaglemoss ships. Like I said, guys, if you can super chat, please do. I really appreciate it. It would really help out the channel because we didn't do a live today. So if you can, please do. And if you can't, just hit like. I mean, we got 41 likes. We got 54 people watching. We should have at least 50 likes. At least 9 of you haven't hit that button. And we can get that up to 50 likes. So if you could do that for me, I'd really appreciate it. So, all right. Now, what's next? Getting all the XLs out of the way first, then we'll get into the regular ones that are in here. Oh my god. Okay. Uss Enterprise J Xl. As much as I love Doug Drexler, I'm not a fan of this ship. I don't have the standard Enterprise J. Never wanted it. Didn't want this one. But they just sent me a load of stuff and said, here, promote this stuff. I'm like, okay, that's my job. That's what I'm going to do. And so I got the J here, which is an XL. And again, it's got the other shot of the ship on the side there. Yeah. Now, a lot of the problems with this ship, honestly, they fall on the producers' heads. Because Doug actually designed a really nice version of it. Which actually became, I think it's the Congo class. That had a secondary hull and stuff. Now this one, here it is. It's pretty big. But right out of the box, look at this. It's loose right there. Like that annoys me. You can see the peg, and it won't stay down. It's got R2-D2 for its nav computer. It's got a little astromech droid head there, see? Little astromech. The little skinny nacelles. Not a fan. I know they're not actually skinny, because when you compare this thing size-wise, the thickness of this is like big compared to like other ships. So it's still quite beefy. It just looks slim in the grand scheme. Not a fan of the detailing on it. Just not a fan. And the reason I say the producers are to blame is because, like I said, Doug had a nice one designed. It had a secondary hull. It had a front deflector in the secondary hull, as per the lineage of the Enterprise. Yes? No. Fucking producers wanted the deflector here. You know why? Because the Enterprise had the deflector on the front, and we want the people to watch the show to know that this ship is a descendant of that ship. It's like, are you fucking stupid? Anybody that can't put 2 and 2 together and realize that the NX Enterprise is the only one that had a deflector on the front of the saucer is a fucking moron and shouldn't be watching the show, and you shouldn't cater to them. By all means, add a secondary hull to this with a fucking deflector and lose this ugly ass piece of fucking garbage at the top here. Like, look at how thick that is. It drives me nuts. And to hear the story of hear most of the stories from producers piss me off because they assume that people are stupid, and my fill light went out. Hold on a second. I need to change a battery. Just as I'm getting ranty. Something else to rant about. Goddamn fill lights and their batteries. Always dying. So yeah, producers have a tendency to think the audience is fucking stupid. And as a result, stupid ass decisions are made to pander to the lowest common denominator and the dumbest people. And it annoys me to no end. Zeraxis throws in $5. Welcome, Zeraxis. Good to see you, sir. Don't mind me. I'll just be here winding down by watching this, tossing coins and playing some Mass Effect before bed. How you doing, Cap? I'm doing fine. Sir, how are you doing? Whew. It's warm up in here. Captain Farrell, the Enterprise J engines look a bit off, somehow out of proportion to the rest of the ship. Just my 2 cents for what they're worth. Well, we've done some fantastic episodes on the Enterprise J with Doug Drexler and his explanations for things, so I suggest checking them out. And they're actually really good episodes. I think you'd enjoy them. You'll learn a lot. You get a lot of perspectives from Doug. But yeah, I tend to agree. The proportions are all whacked on this thing. But it's a future ship, so that's his explanation for it. Super Crew 63, $2. Are you guys going to do another Let's Talk Ships soon? Probably, yes. Area 51, I didn't know the Enterprise producers were from Brooklyn. I don't know what you're referring to specifically. Thomas Potts, so I'm guessing Foley loves the Enterprise J. No, not so much. The deflector in the mouth of the manta. Yep. Wait, it's good mood lighting for the rant. Oh, well, maybe that's what it was doing, yeah. Dearest says, producers and executives treat the potential audience like they are stupid is because they are fucking assholes and rather dumb themselves. Yep, I would tend to agree with that. Hard to think clearly when your head is buried in cocaine and prostitutes. Hey, man, this isn't the 80s. I mean, now, I don't know, they have their head buried in their virtual VR gear with their, like, real sex doll attached to their dick. And maybe on meth? I don't know. But yeah, the cocaine and prostitutes, that's so 80s. So 80s. And back then the producers weren't that stupid. As Rashi said, doing great, Cap. Had some pizza, did some modeling this afternoon, got a new iteration of the model sent to Sam, and some other logistical stuff sorted. Good. Zeraxis, I would also like to see another ship talk. I missed the last one live, was busy napping. Or whatever accent you were doing for the... I wasn't really doing an accent, I don't think. I didn't mean to, so... I wish it was the 80s. Don't we all? That being said, there's a lot of things that really sucked in the 80s, so... Mark Felipe, $2. In my head canon, when the future reset, the J did. Yeah, I'd be down for that. Anyway, so that's the Enterprise J Xl. I'm not looking forward to doing the review of this. This is one, honestly, I just don't want in my collection. No offense to Doug. You know, he did what he was told, and it's only on screen literally for 2 seconds on the display. That's it. So, you know. But yeah, not a fan of this ship, unfortunately. Just not a fan. So I think that's it for the XLs in here. So that's 5 XLs that I got there. The XL DS9, the Enterprise J, the Long Range Shuttle, the Katinga, and the Sona ship. I don't think the Sona ship, the Sona flagship, is an XL, to be honest. But it's definitely in an XL box. Sans thing on the side view of it, so. Zeraxis, the 80s before my time, at least feel a synthwave now, so I can experience the romanticized feel of the era. Colin Barrett, XL Enterprise J looks good. I have the regular size one, but I'm afraid to touch it as it's so delicate. Colin Barrett, the nacelles are so thin, I have seen sturdier matchsticks. LOL. Matchsticks are sturdier. Area 51, do you think Mr. Drexler has time to do more thought out Enterprise J? That would be a great Trekyards episode. Watch the ones we've already done on the Enterprise J. We've kind of talked to him about that. If you had more time, would you change anything? And it's a standard designer answer. No, I had a week. You know, this is the ship. I don't think I would make many more changes. I might do this. I might do a subtle little thing. But usually their answer is no. Rick always has a little bit of refinements that Rick Sternbach would like to do to his ships. Doug usually is like pretty easygoing and carefree. And he's like, no, I think it's good. It's good. Yeah. Vincent 396 $5. Hey Captain, I'm late to the show. Did you receive any of the Orville Eaglemoss ships? Tell the Admiral hello. I will tell the Admiral hello. And I haven't received any Orville stuff. I've requested it. I'm on the list, but I haven't received any yet. And I still haven't received any of the Star Trek Online ships because they're not available in North America yet. So they're only in the UK at this time. I know some people have received them, the first two. I've requested them. I'm on the list, but I was told literally 2 weeks ago that they're not in North America yet. So once they get here, then I'll be getting mine. So Gary Davis Jr. $5 with no comment, but thank you very much. Very much appreciated, sir. Thank you. 72 people watching with 50 likes. Come on, guys. We can get 65 likes at least, maybe 70. If you haven't hit like, just hit like. It's a little thumbs up button. Hit it. It helps out the channel. It's this cheap way to help out the channel and just show your support. And it really means a lot to us to get lots of likes on these lives. Makes us feel like what we're doing is important and you guys are really enjoying it. So if you can, please do so. Captain Farrow puts in $5. The Enterprise J details don't seem to convey just how big the ship really is. I agree that the engines are a bit thin. I'll check those reviews. Yes, check them both. I think we've done at least 2 with Doug Drexler. The latest one was really good, had a lot more detail and information in it than the first one, but the first one has different stuff and has a different feel because it's our early days. So I would suggest checking them both out. I think we've actually done a episode on the J as well without Doug there, I think, with some fan created facts and stuff for it. So I'd be down for checking those out. I mean, I would suggest checking them out. There you go. Hit the like button. It's easy, says Super Crew 63. Yes, well, we're up to 61 now. So, 64 people watching and 61 likes. 3 people haven't hit like. Can we match it? Can we go 64 people watching, 64 likes? Let's see if we can do it. If you haven't hit like yet and you're one of those like couple people that haven't, click the button. Even if you have to go to a different account. There we go. 63, 63. It matches. We got a match. 63 people watching, now 64 likes. It was matched for a second. So now if anybody hasn't hit like yet, hit it, and let's keep the number growing to be more than our viewers. Anyway, I'm rambling now, so let's move on to the smaller regular ships that we have in here. Now, first up is one that I knew about, didn't really want, but here we are. They wanted it promoted, so they sent it along, and it's here, the gold model of the Enterprise D. So let's take a look at this. When I heard they were doing this, I was like, really? First of all, those should be XLs. They should redesign the stands so it doesn't obscure half the fucking ship. But come on, baby. There we go. Now this, actually, I'm kind of impressed with because it is a nice gold plated. So you can see reflections in it. It's a gold plate. It is nice. Very shiny. It's not like the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Enterprise C from Diamond Select that's just a really gold color. It's more like a yellowish. This is actually gold, reflective, nice gold, and it's heavy. It feels heavier than the standard one. I could be wrong in that regard. I do have to compare them. When I do my review of it, I think I might do a comparison of it as well of the regular one. But the problem is, standard goddamn Eaglemoss and their shit. Like, how does this even fucking go on there? Does it go on the back? Well, if it does that, that's good. Okay, that's all right. Generally, the Eaglemoss shit, though, the stands go like here or whatever, and they obscure the ship. I know they're clear. I get it. They're clear. But they still obscure a lot of the goddamn details on the secondary hulls, which annoys me. And I mentioned that in a lot of my reviews. So I was hoping they would do something different with this and make it an XL, for God's sake. Like imagine this, a big you know, like XL sized or Diamond Select size, sitting, you know, well, there you can't really see it, but sitting on display. I mean, that would be beautiful. Um, you said that. Colin Barrett says looks small for the price. I thought you said it looked good for the price, and I'm like, yes, it does look good for the price. But yeah, it also does look small for the price. So let's see what you're saying there. So that's the special 20 edition, 20 years or whatever of so it's special 20, the gold Enterprise D. And actually, I'm kind of impressed with it. And this is one that it'll be an interesting review to do. It won't be like the standard review because I can't really go over the paint details and stuff like that. So we'll see how that's going or going to go. But yeah, that's that. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Gold metal. Yeah, the saucer's metal. Same with the standard one. It's a metal, and then the secondary hull and the cells are plastic. But it's good. It looks good. Whoa, goddamn sleek, Sister Axis. Is there latinum in that ship? There might be. There might be. The saucer looks like it's got some sharp edges. They're not sharp. Well, it's sharp to look at, but it's not sharp. Fumbled fingered gold metal equals special ablative armor. Yes. The problem is it is shiny. You got to watch out for fingerprints on that one. That's a bit of a problem. My Enterprise E always falls out of its stand. Yeah, a lot of them aren't. A lot of the stands are kind of garbage for holding the ships. So don't let Damon Bach get his hands on Picard's golden ship. Mr. Captain 93 at Trekyards. Good evening, Cap. Can we see a close-up of that transporter? Well, I've done a review of the transporter. There's a whole video on the transporter. Just type in Trekyards Hallmark Transporter, and you'll find it. It's got sound effects and lighting. I could hit the button now, but I don't want to move the camera right at this moment. Yeah. So. Captain Pharaoh, forgive my ignorance, but does Eaglemoss have any models from the Kelvin timeline? I think they might. Yes, they do. They do indeed. They have both of the abominations that are the JJ Enterprise. They have the one from the 2009 movie, the Ryan Church one, which we thought was bad. And then they came out with the one after that with the banana struts. And somehow made the ship worse. They don't have the new one, the A that showed up at the beginning of Beyond. That one I wouldn't mind getting. I wouldn't mind seeing that one. And I do have. I think I've got the XL. Yeah, they send me a bunch of shit. I got a closet full of stuff, and I've done reviews of most of them. Like I said, I've got over. I think it's almost 70 reviews now on my Eaglemoss playlist. If you want to check out my Eaglemoss review playlist, because I reviewed a lot of these ships. So, yeah, they also have the Kelvin. They also have the Kobayashi Maru from the movie. They also have the Klingon Warbird, they call it, even though it's Romulan, but whatever. The Klingon Warbird that was in the Kobayashi Maru simulation, which actually a very nice version of a Klingon ship. That's the one ship from that movie that I really like. So they have that one in XL, which I've done a review of, so check them out. Yeah, so let's see, what else do we got? Oh yes, that's fun. So, the Reliant, just plain old Reliant. No, but seriously, it's the actual concept Reliant as it was originally designed, with the nacelles on top and the lower torpedo pods, two of them. So this is how it was designed. Again, here we go with the producer rant. This is how it was designed. When the blueprints were handed across the table for whoever to sign, I can't remember who. The blueprints came up upside down. They approved them. The signature on the page is upside down, so they approved it like this. And then they eventually just added the roll bar and took these out. Well, they didn't take these out necessarily. They shrunk them down, made them into mega phasers, attached the roll bar, and then put the torpedo thing on the top. So that's how it was originally going to look, which is kind of a neat look. I can see why they went with the actual underslung. It looks really good. But yeah, so that's that. So now here's the producer thing. They decided, even though it was approved like this, they said, okay, well, that's how it's supposed to design. So let's go with that. Oh, the nacelles are see-through. That's cool. Anyway, so they're like, fine. The problem is the nacelles are on top. The audience isn't going to know which ship is which. They'll confuse it for the Enterprise. Because that looks exactly like the Enterprise, because the nacelles are on top, and the audience is fucking stupid. We're dumb. I don't know if you knew that, but we're dumb, and we need producers to look out for us. So, to avoid any confusion, we don't want the nacelles up top, because it will look exactly like the Enterprise. Like, look, it's the Enterprise. Oh my god. Oh, it says Reliant. Okay. Sorry. At first glance, I thought it was the Enterprise. Because I'm a fucking moron. No. So, underslung. Again, good decision in the end, because it does look good underslung. But the reason they actually went ahead with the underslung look was to not confuse the audience and get the ships mixed up. Like, are you fucking new? Sorry. I need to do more rant videos. I think people like rant videos. But, goddamn. Anyway, interesting concept for the Reliant. The what if, what could have been. In some kind of dimension somewhere, there's a Reliant that looks like this in the movie. Just saying. Underslung sounds dirty, says Jeff. Well, earlier this evening, Sylvia was upper slung. So yeah, there's the Reliant. Looks like it has mini skirts under it, says Jeff. Good old gamer. The original way looks too much like the Enterprise. Really? Or you're not actually saying that. You're just saying that because I was about to rant and you're telling us the reason. Okay, I hope that's what it is, because Colin Barrett, producers wanted it to look like the Enterprise but not be mistaken for the Enterprise. Mark Philippe, I think Harv Bennett was the one that looked at it upside down and approved it. I think so too, yeah. Super Crew 63, Captain Pharaoh, does yours make noises too? That is cool. They are pretty big. Captain Pharaoh, confused it with the Enterprise, really? Like they don't think that we would notice. No secondary hull. Oh well, yeah, because we're dumb. A good old gamer, that's why the E looks like a sore thumb compared to the other ships in First Contact. Area 51, that was probably just a lame excuse to cover up their mix-up. No, it wasn't. Colin Barrett, Harv Bennett wanted to replace the Enterprise with the Excelsior as Kirk's ship. Roddenberry blew a fuse when he found out and started a lobby against. Yes, that's very true. And I'm glad they didn't use the Excelsior for the new ship. Mr. Captain 93, Trekyards, can you imagine Samuel in that production meeting discussing how the ship would look on screen? Oh my god, no, I can't. Jeff Jacobs, glad you got those reinforced ceilings. Well, no, just not reinforced ceilings. It's just to make sure that it's in the stud. The hook is in the studs. Oh, mini skis under it, not skirts. Gotcha. Jason Paris, do you think that we will see an Enterprise E in Picard Season 2? No, I don't. Parker Cohen, is that ship from Galaxy Quest? It's what ship from Galaxy Quest? The Sona ship looks like it belongs in Galaxy Quest, to be honest. Jeff Jacobs, the stud is in the studs. Got it. Yeah. Nathan Flynn, did you look at the 10th anniversary Legend pack in STL? I've looked at it. I don't have it yet, though. My buddy Brad has it, and I'm considering maybe getting it. For some reason, they sent me this. Why this is even a model, I don't know, but whatever. Here we go. Friendship 1 from the Voyager episode, Friendship 1. Complete with holes battered through the front dish and wrinkly, beat up, pulverized metal and cheap. It just reeks of cheapness. It feels and looks like a dollar store toy. It's just why? I mean, it's a piece of Starfleet history, I guess. You got the little nacelles there. Again, I'm saving most of this for the review. It's got X-Wing parts on it. Legit X-Wing parts. Look, that is a legit X-Wing. You can see it there. X-Wing. It's a tip of an X-Wing gun. Not disguised like anything else. Just a goddamn tip of an X-Wing gun. 2 of them. Friendship 1, everyone. Yay. And lastly, there's one more in here. And as you guys know, with the Strange New Worlds coming out with the Pike show, they're going to have Pike's Enterprise, of course. And, I think we might actually be getting some real canon in that universe, with this production team, because this is Pike's Enterprise. That's what it's called. Here it is. Look at it. It's Pike. It's got the little spikes on the nacelles. It's got the big ass deflector on the front. This one's actually clear, like red plastic. Yeah. Yeah. So this is Pike's Enterprise. So this is what we're gonna get in Strange New Worlds, I'm sure. This is gonna be the one. That's what it's gonna look like. That's what it should look like. That's what it's gonna look like. Right there. Pike's Enterprise. Brand new. It's a brand new Eaglemoss ship, actually. I've got a bunch of the Connies. I got the Phase 2. I've got the Mirror Universe Enterprise. I got the Standard Enterprise. I think there's a Cage Enterprise that I have. And then there's this one, which is Pike's Enterprise, is what it's called. So there it is. So yeah, Eaglemoss said so. This is what it's going to look like. Don't get me wrong. I like the Discovery Enterprise. I think it's fantastic design. John Eves and Scott Snyder did a bang-up job on it. It is amazing. Everyone loves it. I get it. It's not Prime. I know people are sick of hearing me say it's not Prime, but it's not. It's not Prime. That's Prime. Optimus Prime. But, yeah. Then we got the books, of course, the magazines. We got the Sona flagship again. We've got the Vulcan long-range shuttle. We've got the Katinga Special Edition, or XL. We've got the Enterprise J Special Edition, XL. We've got Friendship 1. Oh, my God. Sorry. I'm addicted to books. I love books. I love buying books. I love holding books. I love reading books. I love collecting books. I love smelling books. A new book smell is fantastic. This smells more like a comic book shop, though, these ones. But goddamn, love them. Here is the USS Reliant Concept Special Issue. USS Enterprise, The Cage Special Issue. I thought it was called Pike's Enterprise. That's what it says in my Eaglemoss briefing email. Never mind, the magazine says the cage. Fine. And then the USS Gold Enterprise D. Gold. I love gold. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot of Eaglemoss reviews coming out. Fuck. I love the smell of books. It's a sickness, I'm telling you. Alright, so we're going to put these babies back. But there you go. That is my most recent Eaglemoss shipment. I see some super chats there. I'll get to those in just a second. I just want to put this stuff back. Keep the room somewhat organized. Don't like making a mess generally. But this one I'm looking forward to. The long range shuttle. This is a beautiful model. This is going to be one that's going to be on display. A lot of them I have are still in boxes. Even the ones I really like are still in boxes. I just don't have room for them. My shirt's coming on. But I think that long range shuttle is going to find a home somewhere. All right. Hallmark made a gold version of Pike's Enterprise. Press the bridge and it plays the original theme. Nice sturdy model. I agree that Discovery Enterprise looks slick. Yeah, I have the gold Enterprise one. It is on the Christmas tree every year. And it's beautiful. And it sounds great. It's actually down on my main filming computer for Trekyards. It's actually at the side. It's on the little shelf beside me all the time. So, yeah. Super Crew 63, $2. Damn, I didn't realize I've been a sub since 2015. You're a sub? I'm just trying to find a good joke for a dominant, but nothing's coming to my mind, unfortunately. But there you go. Diarist, the smell. I love the smell of old books, stores, and libraries. Oh, yeah. I used to work in a library. It was my second job. My first job was at McDonald's. I worked at McDonald's for 3 months as my first job. Then I got a job at the Stratford Public Library, and I worked there for about 3.5 years as a page, like P-A-I-G-E, page. I was one of the people that was responsible for returns and putting the books back on the shelves and, you know, Dewey Decimal System, boys and girls. So yeah, that was a good job. I enjoyed that. So, plus that super hot librarian lady working there. So, and my girlfriend worked there at the time as well. I worked on the main floor. She worked down on the bottom floor in the kids section. But that was my girlfriend Melissa. So, wow, that just brought back a lot of memories. Zeraxis, $5. Discovery Enterprise would look so nice. And a nice pearly white with struts that don't have the word holes and lit a bit more would be beautiful. I agree. Just make it the goddamn right color. Make the nacelles straight, or the nacelle struts straight, as they're supposed to be. Like John Hughes designed it, and how they signed off on it when he gave it to the production team or the special effects guys. And then the special effects guys, because of the producers, fucking producers again, whoa, we don't like those straight struts. Make those angled. So they fucking angled the struts like the refit. Piss me off. John's original concept, when it was handed over and done, straight struts as it belongs in that era. But whatever. Whatever. Good old gamer, for all your love of magazines, it seems like every other ship review doesn't have one. Hey, I'm not responsible for that. They send me the ships. Most of them, they don't send the fucking magazines with them. At least this box has all the magazines for all the ships that are in the box. So count your lucky stars for that. Yeah, there's a lot of magazines I don't have. I actually don't have room for any more of the magazines right now, so it's not a big deal. But that being said, there's a lot of ships that I've got that I would like to have the magazine for that I just don't because they didn't send it. We'll send it later. It never comes later. They never send it. A lot of times they send me the ships before the magazines are printed or finished sometimes. So I don't get them. A lot of times they're older ones, older ships that do have magazines, and I just don't get the magazine. It's like, what? Drax says, you gotta build a tower, Cat. Big old tower, add on, and just line it with ships and Transformers and Baby Yodas. Do you have a model of your car? Yes, actually. I have it's a Z28, Camaro Z28 model, so it's a little bit different. It's got the fins and stuff, and that's before I knew how to customize models, so I just painted it the same color as my car, put a personalized license plate thing on it. So I built one of my car, even though it's an 80, the model kit was for an 81, mine's a 79. There's not much difference in the 2 years, but yes. And then Stranger Things, Season 3. Was it Season 3? Was Season 3 the last Stranger Things? I think so. Anyway, the last season of Stranger Things, Billy drove a 1979 Camaro. Exact same color as mine. So that's a long story with that. There's a toy from Hollywood Cars of that car, and I couldn't find it anywhere. I knew it was in the States, and it was at Target stores. So when Samuel and myself were down in LA or in Vegas, we went hunting for it. I finally found it. I think we were with Mark Lawrence, who's probably in the chat still. And I found the goddamn thing, and I couldn't put it in my suitcase because the box was too big. So I had to take it out of the box, pack it in like between my clothes. But yeah, it's a nice scale version of the same year car as mine and the same color. It doesn't, of course, have the light covers and all the extra stuff that I put on it, but it does. It is a 79 Camaro. So yes, the answer is yes, I do. That's a whole. Just watch the Captain's Log away mission vlog for the Vegas trip because we go hunting for it, and I finally find it. It's exciting. Also, yes, book smells delicious. Yes. Why did Troy crash the ship in Generation? She couldn't handle the D. Let's see, we got 81 likes with 71 people watching. That's awesome, guys. Thank you so much. And like I said, if you want to super chat and support the channel and help us out, please do so. We'd really appreciate it. Make us feel good at the end of the day. And we did do a live earlier today, so if you can, please do. If you can't, don't worry about it. Just hit like. Bill 4393. Captain Foley, are you going to get the Top Gun Maverick crossover Transformer figure? I saw it, and my initial thought was no, but the more I think about it, the more I'm thinking yes. The problem is with something like that, because it is so cool, I would need 2 of them. One that I could keep as an F-14 and one that I could have transformed. So that gets expensive. But yeah, I mean, it's such a cool crossover and tie-in, so I think yes, probably. Captain Pharaoh, I don't mind the angle stretch so much, but the slits and them drive me nuts. Why? Makes no sense. It actually does make sense. Johnny's actually had the slits in the straight ones because they were a little bit thicker than the TOS Enterprise. So his thinking was that once evolution or tech evolved a little bit by the time of Kirk's era, they'd slice the front of the nacelle off where the slits were, and then the nacelle would be thinner and like in Kirk's. So yeah, I mean, I don't mind the angled stretch either. It's a fantastic look for the Enterprise. It really is. But it's a little bit too soon, especially when you're saying it's prime. It's clearly not prime. So, Colin Barrett, I had another round of cardiac surgery last week. A career in the library is something I've been told to consider as my current career is deemed too stressful to continue. Colin, some of the I had stressful times at the library. There are a few times it was quite stressful. So, but yeah, I can see it being a lot more peaceful than a lot of jobs. So, Jeff Jacobs, I know. Zeraxis, well, it's been fun, folks. I got to drop out and actually get to sleep. Excellent stream, as always, Cap. Thank you, Zeraxis. See you later, sir. Have a good one. Christian Yeager of the CP Ranger. Hey, Cap, what are you doing up this late? It's not really late for me. It's 10 to 12 right now. It's almost midnight. I'm usually up till 3:30. Cade MacArthur, if Alex Kurtzman admitted to you that Discovery was never Prime, but insisted that Picard was Prime, what would you tell him? I would tell him to go fuck himself. I would really like to speak to that man. I really would. He pisses me off so much. There's no way that Picard can be Prime if Discovery's not. It's clear that Picard happens in the same timeline that Discovery, or the Discoverse, because of the shuttles everywhere and many other things. But neither one of them is Prime. So if he came to me and said, oh, well, Discovery was never meant to be Prime, it's not really Prime. But Picard definitely is. I'd be like, son, we need to have a talk. Come with me. There's a back alley around back. Go figure. It's dark right now. I got something I got to show you. We'll just leave it at that. And there's Mark Lawrence. Yep. LOL. Yep. His expression was great when he found it. Yeah, I was looking for that car forever, and I finally found it. And it was the last one they had. They only had one. It was hidden. It was kind of in the back of the shelf. It wasn't. Because I thought when I first looked, I thought it wasn't there, and I was so disappointed again. And then I found it. It's like, oh! I was jumping up and down in the store. So. And Martin Devon says, okay, sorry I asked. What did you ask that you're sorry you asked? Ooh, what's the subject? Oh, okay. Dyrus, what? Top Gun Transformer? Yeah, there's a Top Gun Transformer. It's an F-14. Turns into a robot, obviously. And his name is Maverick. Captain Foley, have you watched Doom Patrol Season 2 yet? I've only watched the first, 4 episodes of Season 1 of Doom Patrol. I never really got into it, so no. Super Cruise 63, $5. I have raced and won many races at our local dirt track in a 79 Camaro. Hobby stock class, love them. The F-body, that's what they're called. Good old gamer, I always felt the struts on the TOS Enterprise were too thin. Well-placed weapon shot and you lose in a cell and the ability to work. Okay, I get so sick of that argument. And you're only as good as your best defenses. Everybody says, oh, the bridge is on top. One hit and it's destroyed. Yes, we get it. And the struts aren't thin. I mean, when you actually measure them, for a real-life one, they're quite beefy. And the thing is, they're also futuristic materials. So I have no problem with them being thin. I like the way they look. They're thin to imply future tech and advancement. Matt Jeffries has said as much in different interviews. Doug Drexler says the same thing. They are thin, but it's the future. So that material is actually very, very sturdy. And yes, when well-placed photon hit to any goddamn ship in certain spots, and they're fucked. I mean, the perfect example was Star Trek Beyond, where those ships just they sliced the nacelle struts right off. The nacelles are just gone. Scotty's like, the nacelles, they're gone, sir. And then Krill, or whatever the hell his name was, says, slit its throat. And they just ripped right through the neck and just... That was a callback to all the people that say the neck and the struts are weak points. So yeah, I get it. But that was the most beautiful scene, by the way. Oh, I was smiling ear to ear in the theater when I saw that ship get just torn apart. But anyway, that's another subject. So yeah, I understand what you're saying, and the Discovery ones are no thicker. They're the same width or thickness or whatever you want to call it. Just they're angled, and they seem a little bit beefier because they're angled. They start out narrow at the base and get a little bit thicker. So they look more substantial, but they're not. So Bill 4393. By the way, the next Transformer crossover figure is the DeLorean from Back to the Future. I have a shirt of what the hell is the Transformer's name? But it's the DeLorean that transforms into a Transformer. Um, Marty McPrime, I think it is. Um, Jeff Jacobs, I ran four-cylinder outlaw at local thermal cement oval for a few years. Cool. Colin Barrett, when Picard walked into Starfleet HQ and sees the Discovery Enterprise, that establishes what timeline it's in. Yeah, and it's not the prime timeline, so yes. Area 51, don't struggle, Kurtzman. It'll only make it harder. Please, by all means, make it harder. I want to enjoy, I want to relish in that moment if it ever happens. Cade MacArthur, Colin Barrett, in my headcanon, it's just a generic 23rd century vessel that we never saw. I must be missing something there, so sorry. Jason Paris, I'm going to sleep now. Cap, have a good night and live long and prosper. Well, you two have a good night. Good old gamer. I get the point of those struts, but you'll notice as time goes on, they either get bigger or disappear entirely. Well, yeah. Captain Farrow, I sometimes discuss Discovery timeline status with a friend of mine in California. Thinking on it, it'd make sense if Discovery was another timeline, a la Kelvin timeline, and or Section 31 ship, my 2 cents. It totally makes sense. If they had said it's a reimagined new universe called the Discoverse, we would have been from the beginning going, you guys are doing a fantastic job, keep it up. It doesn't have to link with Prime. There's no canon violations. You guys are doing fine. You're doing your own thing. Your redesigns are great. Everything looks fantastic. Bravo, guys. You are doing such a fantastic job. But because they said, this is Prime timeline, now it changes the dynamics somewhat. And we got to go, you know what? It's not. And here's why. Canon violation, canon violation, canon violation, canon violation, canon violation. And all of a sudden, what could have been a fantastic show that they were getting applauded for is now pretty much garbage. So that's the way we look at it. And it's still the Discoverse to me. I still refer to it as Discoverse. It'll never be Prime to me. I don't care. Nothing you say to me can tell me that it's Prime, because it's clearly not. There's enough evidence to the contrary that it's not Prime. Bill 4393, is Discovery still keeping its release schedule, or has it been delayed due to... It's been delayed. We're not quite sure when it's coming out, but it has been delayed due to COVID. Mel Blake Banner, oh shit, hey Stuart, hey man, how's it going? Hooker Unleashed Films, what is Discovery's release date anyway? We have no idea. Soon, hopefully. Justin says late stream, huh? Well, no, I usually do lives around this time. Well, not usually. When I do my independent solo lives, it's usually around this time. So no, not really. Let's see, we've been going for just over an hour now, so it feels a lot longer for some reason. Or they would, or could not have called it Star Trek. Well, if they didn't call it Star Trek, I wouldn't be watching it. I wouldn't care. So. Not a band account throws in $2. Could we have a design at the Enterprise G contest? That'd be kind of neat. We'll have to see about that. Cade MacArthur, what if Alex Kurtzman mutated into a hybrid of Roddenberry and Berman? At least he'd have two brain cells to rub together at that point. And, you know, his decisions wouldn't be that bad. Supercrew 63, not a band account. That is a great idea. Thumbs up. Justin says, that would be a fun contest to us on the Discord server. Jeff Jacobs, come on guys, let's get 100 likes. Let's see. We're at 94 likes. We need 6 more likes. That's easy. Come on, there's 74 of you here. 6 of you haven't hit like. Let's hit like. Let's get to 100. It's possible. Sebastian, the XL DS9 station is amazing. Mr. Captain 93, what character from any series would you like to see pop up on Picard? We've answered this ad nauseum. Anybody. I just want to see somebody from Voyager or DS9 come on. There's so many that I would like, so I can't really answer that. Bill 4393, Stuart, did you hear about Michael Keaton coming back as Batman for a Flashpoint movie? I did, and that's great news because he was like the first one to say, "I'm Batman." Colin Barrett, Discovery has its own timeline, as it simply does not fit the canon timeline, which they even showed in the episode of Discovery with Vina and Talos for. Captain Farrow, more of a request. Have you considered reviewing the Star Trek Micro Machines that came out in the 90s? It'd be interesting to get your take on them. That's actually a really fantastic idea. I've got some of them. I don't have all of them, but I could do a video on that. That might be interesting, actually. I like that because I do have thoughts on them. Some of them are kind of... no, I like that. Mr. Captain 93, did you ever watch Sequest DSV? Yeah, when it was on the air, I watched it. Scythe Commander, rough day. Glad to YouTube and see a live Trekyards stream going on. Keep on keeping on. Well, thank you very much. Hopefully you're enjoying it. Hopefully your day gets better now that it's over. It sounds awful, but... Area 51, I love the Micro Machine Star Trek ships. For me, that was the only way to get some of my favorite ships. Yeah, that was the same for a lot of people. Cade MacArthur, what, you fought Kurtzman to the death? Well, not yet, but... Jeff Jacobs, I have all of them, Cap. All right, we have 100 likes now, Jeff. So thank you guys for hitting the 100 mark. That's awesome. Have you listened to Delta Flyers? I haven't yet. I really do want to, though, because that'll be good. Captain Farrow, this is my first live Trekyards, and I've enjoyed it immensely. Well, awesome. This is not the typical live Trekyards. Usually it's Samuel and myself doing an episode review or talking about ships or whatever. But for a captain's solo one, this is very typical. I like talking to you guys and hanging out, and I always got something cool going on in the background, so you guys have some other stuff to look at. So welcome, and I'm glad you're enjoying it. Mr. Captain 93, have you and Samuel ever thought about doing a podcast? Well, we've been guests on a lot of podcasts. Basically, our show can be a podcast. I mean, it's more visual with the ship episodes because we have visuals. But you can listen to us, especially our live reviews, very much as in a podcast style. So, yeah. Colin Barrett, Micro Machine Star Trek collection was awesome, but the second wave was hard to get in this part of the world. Bill 4393, I love that Baby Yoda behind you. Thank you. Captain Farrow, I have most of the Micro Machines, still looking for a few. Andre is here. How's it going? You've got 103 now. Nice to see you again, Stuart. I see you, Andre. Hope you're doing well. Jeff Jacobs, $2.01. 100 likes. What a great crew. Hashtag Foley likes Pike. Area 51, don't fight him to the death. Just enough so you can make him cry and admit that he's no talent hack. I want to put him in a wheelchair like Pike's, where he can't speak. He can just go yes and no. Because even then we'd get more intelligent ideas out of him. It's okay, DX2069, don't worry. Curtis, do you have the last Star Wars movie on Blu-ray, Captain? If so, how was it? I don't have it on Blu-ray yet, but I've seen it. I saw it in the theater, and I've seen it on Disney Plus. I haven't bought it yet, though. Do you have any Fleet Yards episodes planned for the future? We have a bunch of Fleet Yards episodes filmed, and we have a bunch more ready to be filmed, but we haven't released any Fleet Yards for quite a while, just because they just don't get the views that we need. So if we can get our Patreon numbers up and our monthly income up to a level where we don't have to worry about making content that's going to get better views, then we can release them. That's the problem. We need to focus on what we think will be videos that can get a lot of good views. Lives are really important these days for keeping the channel afloat, as the super chats are our main source of income. So like I said, if you guys can super chat, please do. It really helps us out in the long run. Or join the channel at the rank of commander, captain, or admiral. That's another great way to help us out. There's lots of great ways to help us out, but yeah, we need to focus on content that makes us money right now. And a lot of the Fleet Yards numbers are just way too low, and the videos don't make any money. So we've got a bunch filmed, we just haven't released them because we just can't afford to not like be releasing stuff that's not going to get views. So. Super Cruise 63, I hope one day they remake Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. We can only hope. With today's graphics, it would be awesome. Andre, I think I should do a video about my ever-growing Eaglemoss starships. Yes, you should, sir. Cade MacArthur, if Balak was on Discovery, how would they ruin him? They'd make him like a Slender Man, like 9 feet tall and super skinny. Jeff says, micro machines are great because they're cool, detailed, tough, and pretty damn cheap for most of them. Nathan Flynn, should I put pics of what the Disco Prize would look like with the right hull and the struts up on the Discord? Yes, go for it. Justin, I often find myself binge listening to Trekyards episodes as though they were podcast episodes. Help my mind going for certain. See, yeah, a lot of people have said they just throw us on and listen to us in the background while they work, or while they work on a model, or unless it's a full ship episode, you don't really need to focus on the visuals so much. So, plus who the hell wants to see our faces, right? Bill 4393, did anyone watch the Mandalorian making of documentary series? I did. Yes, I did. It was actually pretty interesting. Crazy 8360, there's an episode. Here's an episode. Discovery travels past the Doomsday Machine in interstellar space and don't report it because they're too busy being mad at each other. DX2069, I love that warp core you have. Thank you. It's from Think Geek. It's actually for the car. I've got a little adapter that I plug into the wall so I can just play the USB, or it's got a cigarette lighter. And so I got an adapter for the wall. I just plug the cigarette lighter into that and have it powered in the house here. It's actually a phone charger. There's 2 USB plugins on the back so you can charge stuff with it. Big Puff Bubbles. Hey, Captain. Late as heck, but thought I'd say hi. How things going? Things are going well. Good to see you. Missed a good live with a lot of Eaglemoss stuff. I'd suggest going back and rewatching it. Good old gamer. I've seen enough creepy YouTube videos to know that Baby Yoda behind Cap will start moving any minute. Maybe. Curtis Simpkin, you need to do more lives. I need to do more live on my channel too, Captain. Yes, you should, Curtis. Jeff Jacobs, knowing Cap as I do, I can say you don't want to see what that Yoda would be doing. Nathan Flynn, The Mandalorian was filmed on a holodeck. Essentially, yes. Jeff Jacobs, I listen to Trekyards while I'm driving, but then sometimes I have to pull over, lol. Captain Farrow, forgive the question. Is it responsible or reasonable to consider Discovery and Kelvin timelines canon, just alternate timelines within canon, and the prime timeline being TOS? Yes, that's thoroughly legitimate, and that's exactly what it is. The prime timeline is the 50 years of Trek that we've had, and with a few weird deviations as far as canon errors, but then there's the Kelvin timeline, the Disco timeline. It's all good. So it can all exist. Just don't tell me it's prime, because it's not. Pretty simple. That's my big sticky point with it. They keep insisting it's prime. This is how the Enterprise looked. Look how Pike's Enterprise looked. This is how it looked. No, it didn't. Got 50 years of canon that tells us otherwise, so you're the anomaly here. Just saying. Cade MacArthur, if Discovery Klingons caught the augment virus, would they look like the TOS ones, or could they be deformed birdmen? Who knows, man? Who knows? Discovery Klingons. It's awful. Chris Simpkins, do you think that Voyager was the last Star Trek Prime timeline? Well, the last show in the Prime timeline, yes. Yes. Here's a question. Do you consider STO to be Prime or not? Has potential to be Prime, but it's so far removed and from in the future that it can be, could maybe not be. I'd like to consider it Prime, honestly, because I mean you got the characters that continue over and are pretty good in it. So the problem with that though is you got some characters that are now Discovery characters in there. So it's a sticky subject for sure. Curtis, do you think that Voyager was? Oh, I answered that already. Sorry, Captain Farrow. Yeah, it annoys me to no end when people who claim they know that what the Enterprise look like clearly don't. Yeah. Mark, Philip. Sorry, Mark. Since the Xindi War was supposedly not supposed to happen, maybe that could have started the whole disco timeline. Yeah, exactly. Enterprise came along and fucked with the timeline altogether, and then they had the Temporal Cold War, and I'm like, ooh, they can fix it. They can fix it, and they didn't. So yeah, I mean, I just consider Enterprise. I don't know if I consider Enterprise prime timeline, to be honest, because it's really not in my mind. But it's better than Discovery for fitting in, so it's a possibility. But yeah, considering that you got the Borg that they found in Enterprise that was from First Contact, and when the sphere went back in time, it could have also crossed into another, time reality, or because it went back in time, it created a split off timeline. As we know, in parallels, every decision you make creates another timeline. So there's millions of timelines. So I have no problem saying that Enterprise is actually a different timeline, and I could leave it up to either the Kelvin verse or the Mirror Universe, or the Disco timeline. I say Mirror Universe, but I know we have Intermere Darkly, which is the Enterprise era, but in the Mirror Universe. So anyway, there's lots of possibilities. Just do not tell me it's Prime. Do not force feed it down our throats every chance you get. Oh yeah, it's Prime. That's totally Prime. Everything's going to line up by the end. By the end of season 2, everything's going to line up with canon. It'll be fine. What? Yeah. Technically, as an Enterprise, just a holodeck recreation. You could look at it that way too, yeah. Jamie Williams, sorry I'm late, Cap. Just got off work. What are your thoughts about the Constitution, where no man has gone before pilot version? I'm fixing to build a Polar Lights 3 foot and doing a pilot conversion. I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't like the solid painted nacelles with the spikes or the end caps, and the huge deflector dish is just doesn't work for me. Also, the larger bridge dome. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of the cage one. I'd still rather see it than the Disco Prize for Strange New Worlds, though. And don't get me wrong, I keep saying this. I love the Disco Prize. It's a fantastic design. It's just not Prime. So I'd rather there be a Prime Universe Pike series as the actual Pike Enterprise. I'm not a huge fan of the cage one. Just the changes that are there, like the larger deflector and the different bizarre domes and the bridge, kind of bug me a little bit. But personal preference. Mark Lawrence, Enterprise at least tried to fit. It also explained a few things too. Yes, that's true. They tried. They did try. How would you explain Klingons, though? What do you mean? Clarify, because we've spoke ad nauseum about the Klingons and how they could be fixed for Discovery, how they could have fixed them, and they didn't. So clarify what you mean, and I'll go into it if you really want. Hi Cap, what did you think of Lorca Terran reveal in Cisco Season 1? Did it surprise you? Didn't, because we kind of speculated about that during our reviews, and it just didn't make sense. And Samuel said he didn't seem like a Starfleet captain, and I thought he did. I liked Lorca as a captain. There's a little bit hard-edged, hard-assed, but, you know, the older school captains, which is fine. So we kind of called that before it happened, so not really a surprise. Future randomness. If Jon Favreau were to do Star Trek series or film, what era would you like to see it set in? I think a Lost Era series would be cool. Yeah, I've always said a Lost Era series, like Enterprise C, because there's like a good 80 years there that we don't really know what happened, and there's not really many canon violations you could create in there. So I would love to see it, and I love the ships. I love the Ambassador class. I love the movie era ships, which there'd be a lot of those still. So yeah, I think the Lost Era would be the way to go. Area 51. I bet one producer says to another, what the fuck do they mean prime timeline? I don't know. Some nerd talk. Just say yeah and they'll buy it. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly the conversation they had. I promise you. Yeah. I don't think we need more prequels. No, we don't. I would be curious to see a Disco DS9 Defiant design. Oh, yeah. Crazy 8360 Enterprise had so much potential. It could have followed the DS9, what DS9 did well, and avoided the mistakes Voyager made, or just listen to the fans. Yeah, but looking back, I miss Enterprise compared to what we have now, so. Super Crew 63, I think I'm going to watch it again when the captain is done. I'll be done in a minute. Here's Siren. So we're at 96 minutes right now. If you haven't hit like yet, please hit like. If you want to get a last super chat in, please do. But I'm going to wrap it up in a minute here because I'm parched. I need a drink, actually. Kane MacArthur, if the Xindi invasion created Discovery, how would you explain the Klingons? Just a genetic mutation, because if the timeline splits there, it splits there for everybody. So the Klingons try to defeat the augment virus that was created in Enterprise. They try to fix it, and they overcompensate, and they go back to a more primordial version of a Klingon with the longer head, and so they overcompensate the mutation, and then it becomes airborne, and all the Klingons, or the vast majority of Klingons, get infected by it, and that's why they all look like idiots. There's ways to explain these things. Like, they would try to fix the augment virus, which happened in Enterprise. So there should be 3 types of Klingons in Discovery. If they want the Klingons, there should be 3 kinds. Regular Imperial Klingons, the augmented Klingons, and then the goddamn orcs. So, and we've did a whole video talking about how they could work that in, and we'll fix that with the story. So, good old game of the Lost Era. I want to see is 100 years after Picard, when everything will be like TNG was. Yeah. We're going to get that with Discovery Season 3, because they're 900 years in the future, so. You and the Commander need to watch The Expanse. Yes, I know. Captain Farrell, one explanation I always liked about the TOS TMP Klingons actually came from the RPG in the 80s. TOS Klingons were Klingon human fusions. TMP Klingons were Imperial Klingons. Yes. Yeah. And the Klingon human fusions, they looked human, so they could infiltrate Federation space, because they were on that border. There were also ones that looked Romulan, either genetically altered or cosmetically altered to look like not Klingon, like Romulans. They could infiltrate Romulan space. Same with the Federation border. They looked human, also to keep kind of what the Klingons were actually like a secret from their enemies. Because you'd run into a Klingon ship, they'd come up on screen, they look like humans. You'd be like, oh, okay. But yeah, then the Imperial Klingons were the ridge-headed Klingons. So yeah. David Chilson, I think they could have made the Klingarks a subspecies much like the Remans in Romulan society. Yeah, that's another thing too. Anyway, guys, I'm going to call that quits for now. I really appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully you liked the Eaglemoss ships. If you didn't see them, if you missed the beginning of the show, go back and check them out. And keep in mind there's going to be more Eaglemoss reviews coming out now. So there was one today. The Discovery D7 was out today. So if you haven't watched it, please go watch it. And yes, just keep an eye out for more Eaglemoss reviews. They're probably going to be every Friday now. I'll try to do some captain's logs too, because popular demand. I asked you guys, said you wanted them to bring the captain's logs back, radio Q&As and stuff. So that's something that I will consider doing as well. I kind of dropped the ball for a little bit on that, so hopefully you guys aren't mad at me. So Super Crew 63, $2. Thanks, Captain. It was a lot of fun tonight. Well, thank you, Super Crew. Very much appreciated it. It was fun. Love seeing you guys. And anyway, guys, have a good night. Rest easy. And I'll see you. I might do another live tomorrow or on Sunday. I'm not sure what time. Maybe even in the afternoon to get a different crowd in here. So keep your eyes open, and we'll see what we can do. So until then, guys, I'm Captain Foley, signing off. Bye-bye.